Today, we're diving into a ranking of the most powerful characters within the Navy in One Piece and highlighting their past achievements. This list includes a variety of faces, from young bloods like Captain Kobe to legendary heroes of the past. Some of them had thrilling reunions with Luffy and Zoro, while others showcased staggering growth. Let me know who's your favorite character from this list. If you find these rankings and character highlights intriguing, please hit that like button and subscribe. Also, drop your own rankings and thoughts about the Navy characters in the comments below. Just a heads up, this video contains spoilers up to chapter 1067, so be cautious. Alright, let's dive right in. Starting off at 10th place, we have Captain Kobe. Originally just a regular guy who mistakenly boarded Alvida's pirate ship thinking it was a fishing vessel. He was bossed around as a handyman and navigator for 2 years. Meeting Luffy changed his life, and he joined the Navy, the career he had always dreamed of. Under the strict training of Garp, alongside Helmeppo, he honed his skills. In the Water 7 arc, he reunited with Luffy and Zoro, and although not on par with them, he showcased incredible growth, mastering some of the 6 powers. During the Paramount War, Kobe stood up to Admiral Akainu, showing immense bravery. This courageous act played a crucial role in ending the war and indirectly assisted in Luffy's survival. During the 2-year hiatus of the Straw Hat crew, Kobe was involved in the Rocky Port incident, which involved Law and Blackbeard, achieving significant feats and protecting many civilians. Because of this, Kobe is now considered one of the Navy's heroes. 2 years later, in the New World arc, he was promoted to captain and joined the top-secret special unit of the Navy called SWORD. SWORD is composed of Marines who've renounced the Marine Code. Operating as an autonomous strike force, they can act without direct orders, but the Navy doesn't have to take responsibility for them, and if captured, they can be abandoned at any time. For instance, when Kobe was captured and imprisoned on Pirate Island, Hachinosu, a territory of the Blackbeard pirates, no official Navy reinforcements came to his aid. Instead, it was his mentor Garp and his subordinates who stormed the island to save him. Additionally, Kobe showcased a grand move, countering Alvaro Pizarro's gigantic punch, which merged with the island using the Devil Fruit powers using his Honesty impact. Coming in at number 9, we've got the former Fleet Admiral of the Marines, Sengoku. Back in his prime, this guy was taking on legendary pirates alongside his buddies Garp and Zoro. But after the end of the Paramount War, he stepped down from his admiral seat and currently serves as an inspector general for the Marines. But don't be fooled, his power level is on par with big names like Roger and Whitebeard. Remember when Golden Lion Shiki attacked Marineford? Sengoku and Garp teamed up, and after an epic battle that nearly destroyed the Marine HQ, they locked Shiki up in the underwater prison Impel Dam. And here's a fun fact. Among all the known characters from the Marine side, he's the very first to wield Conqueror's Haki. During the Paramount War saga, he showed off his Devil Fruit power, the human fruit model Buddha. We saw him transform into a giant and unleash otherworldly moves like sending shockwaves from his palms. He even played mind games, using Ace's and Roger's blood relation to shake up Whitebeard's ally squad and set him against Whitebeard. His brilliant strategies earned him the nickname Sengoku the Strategist. Nowadays, you might catch him teasing Akainu while munching on rice crackers, but back in the day, he took in former celestial dragon Rosinante and molded him into a top-notch marine. Law shares a unique bond with him. They've made a pact to always remember Rosinante. Moving on to number 8, we have Gion. Gion, also known as the Pink Rabbit, is a female vice admiral in the Navy. She's got luscious black hair, a beauty mark near her lips, and a spider tattoo on her left thigh. And let me tell you, she's rocking a shirt that really accentuates her figure, making her one smoking hot Marine. She's so alluring, she could even tempt pirates. Even though she's had minimal screen time and her battle scenes are yet to be showcased, she's a swordsman who wields the renowned blade Konpira, whose rank is still undisclosed. Being a vice admiral, it's a sure bet she's mastered at least 2 types of Haki, armament and observation. And did I mention she's the protege of Vice Admiral Zoro, also known as the Strategist? She's been eyed as a potential successor to both the newly promoted Fleet Admiral Sakazuki and the departed Aokiji. She might even be admiral level strong, you know? Granted, It's all speculative right now, but I had to highlight her, especially considering she's been considered to fill the shoes of the likes of Sakazuki and Aokiji. Up next at number 7 is Tokikake, nicknamed the Brown Pig among the Vice Admirals. He's only appeared once in the Reverie arc, and all he did was have a meal at Marie Joyce. The only other time we've seen him was in One Piece film Gold, where he was spotted at a golf course managed by Tesoro. But here's a fun fact. His rank is Vice Admiral, but just like Gion, Tokikake was also considered for the Admiral position after the departure of both Sakazuki and Aokiji. So yeah, he's practically Admiral level material. Personality-wise, he's a stubborn guy with a soft spot for beautiful women. His character is inspired by Tora-san, the protagonist from the classic Japanese drama series It's Tough Being a Man, portrayed by Kyoshi Atsumi. According to Oda Sensei, while he might be the butt of jokes in the Navy, he's a genuinely likable guy, full of compassion and honor. His rapport with Admiral Fujitora and his popularity among the citizens speaks volumes. Originally, Tokikake's character was introduced in response to a reader's joke submission in Volume 74's SBS section about a character who got rejected by Gion 100 times. But little did we know there was an initial design for a Brown Pig character. I'm thinking about the 3 admirals in 2 years' time. The character that was discarded, Brown Pig, became the answer, who became today's topic.
While we don't have any combat details, his in-story rank and Oda's hint at his potential admiral suggest he's a powerhouse in his own right. That's why he's earned this spot on our list.
Coming in at number 6, we've got none other than the Navy's hero, Vice Admiral Monkey D. Garp, who's finally shown his true colors in the latest chapter. Remember 38 years ago when Garp decimated the Rocks pirates? That's when people started calling him a hero. During the God Valley incident where he crushed the Rocks pirates, Garp even had to protect celestial dragons and their slaves, teaming up with pirates. Even though they're the enemy, it seems like a tough pill for Garp to swallow. Probably a part of his past he isn't too fond of. Rewind about 20 years. During Pirate King Roger's era, Garp and his buddy Sengoku were at the forefront of the Navy battles. Garp gave Roger a run for his money numerous times, earning himself the title of the legendary Marine that's still talked about today. Now, Pirate Shinjao from Garp's era once mentioned that Garp was like the devil incarnate for the pirates back then. Pretty intense, right? The latest chapter revealed Vice Admiral Garp's motto in the Navy, protecting people's futures. He strongly believed that the future of the youth is limitless. In a dire situation, he'd even argue that the old guys, including himself, should be sacrificed for the greater good. This man would give his life to safeguard the Navy's future and its younger generation. That's probably why he took young lads like Kobe and Helmeppo under his wing. But don't be fooled by his age. Garp's fighting power is monstrous. His bounty, set by Cross Guild, a whopping 30 billion berries. And even though he claims to be past his prime, he can launch cannonballs faster than an actual cannon and hurl iron balls larger than the Thousand Sunny. Plus, his speed is so unparalleled, even Kazan struggles to keep up. To compete with the powerhouses of Roger's era, Garp underwent a unique training without relying on any devil fruit powers or haki. That training, continuously punching a ship's armor, which he hilariously calls the ship bag training. And he's been doing this for decades. This proves that Garp's legendary strength isn't innate, but earned through sheer hard work. Using haki during shipback training, that's a big no-no. Yet, Garp's prowess with haki is undeniable. The latest chapters even show him releasing black lightning, possibly coated with Conqueror's haki. And his special moves? The blue hole, where he grabs an opponent's face and slams them to the ground. And the Galaxy Divide, a haki-infused punch that can split anything in two. Even his basic punches and headbutts can send shockwaves across an entire island. Is he the strongest in terms of raw power in the entire series? I'd say there's a solid case for that. In terms of rank, he's already at Admiral level, having been offered promotions multiple times. But he's turned them down for over 40 years, valuing his freedom and not wanting to work directly under the celestial dragons he despises. Garp's dedication to the next generation, coupled with his exceptional combat skills and optimistic and daring personality, sent his stock soaring in the recent chapters. Sadly, even with all his might, he faced a crushing defeat against the Blackbeard pirates, including his former protege Kazan, all while trying to rescue his beloved student Kobe. In the end, Using a transporter snail, he entrusted the future of the Navy to the Sword members. With his classic big laugh, Vice Admiral Garp met his fate at the hands of Blackbeard and his crew. Coming in at number 5, we have the Green Bull, or as we know him, Aramaki. He's one of the new Marine admirals, right? After the major reshuffling post the Paramount War, he was handpicked as the new face of the Marine headquarters. He fully backs up Shakazuki's absolute justice motto. Among the Marines, he's seen as a radical who shows zero mercy to any pirate he faces. In the series, he's so keen to earn Sakazuki's praise, he took it upon himself to go to Wano right after the war ended with the sole purpose of capturing Luffy. Once he reached Wano, boy did he show off his insane combat skills. He single-handedly took down the likes of the Red Scabbards, Yamato, and even top members of the Beast Pirates like King and Queen. And just like all the other Marine admirals we've seen so far, Aramaki too is a powerhouse with a Logia Devil Fruit. He's the user of the Woods fruit, allowing him to create and control any plant at will. Sounds like a pretty laid-back power, right? But nope, this power can turn barren land into a lush green forest, completely changing the natural environment. He doesn't just use his trees to attack or bind his foes, but can also change his fingers into plants to absorb nutrients from his opponents or unleash water-filled plants. And guess what? He can even fend off fire attacks and sprout flowers on his back to move around like a helicopter. The ways he uses his power are just astonishing. With all this power, it's no wonder Yamato and the Red Scabbards couldn't stand a chance against him. Things were looking pretty bleak for Luffy and the gang, but luckily, Shanks, who was near the waters of Wano, stepped in and made Aramaki retreat for a while. It's worth noting that he has the judgment to instantly retreat when he senses he's at a disadvantage. That's some level-headedness right there. Later on, it was revealed that he captured Edward Weevil, who had been battling the Marines to protect Whitebeard's homeland, Sphinx. I gotta say, his power's fascinating, and I can't wait to see more of his battles in the future. Definitely a character to keep an eye on. Coming in at number 4, we've got the Blind Swordsman, Admiral Fujitora, or as he's known in Japanese, Ishu-san. After the Paramount War, he didn't just join the Navy, he shot straight up to the rank of Admiral. That's a rare move, my friends. But as for his past, that's still shrouded in mystery. Now, his character, overflowing with a sense of justice. When capturing pirates, he first counts the number of civilians present. He once said, "Shouldn't we first count the number of people we must protect rather than the number of enemies?" Truly, he reflects the Navy's ideals and has given us powerful and memorable quotes throughout the series. Ever heard of, "If there's something you don't want crushed, then keep it in your pocket"? Or how about, "Trust that falls over so easily was never there to begin with"? Now, Fujitora ate the gravity fruit, giving him the power to manipulate gravitational forces. Want to see your enemies pressed flat on the ground? He's got you. Or how about pulling them into the depths below? He can do that too. He can even send you flying sideways. But the craziest thing, the range of his ability can extend into space. Yes, space. He can pull down asteroids with his gravitational force and make them crash down as meteors. Beyond just his gravitational might, he can also manipulate anti-gravity, lifting battleships, sending debris floating before crashing down. It's all in a day's work for him. Even without the gravity powers, his sword skills are top-notch. He's gone toe-to-toe with the likes of Zoro and Sabo. Naturally, his haki, or spiritual energy, is off the charts. Despite being blind, he senses his enemies and their attacks from dozens of kilometers away, thanks to his observation haki. If anything, it's probably even more refined since he's not relying on sight. And yes, his armament haki, just as formidable, definitely deserving of that number 4 spot. Now, moving on to number 3, we have the one and only Admiral Kizaru, or Borsalino if you prefer. Alongside Aokiji and Akainu, he's part of the Navy's top trio of admirals. Aokiji stands for lazy justice, Akainu for absolute justice, and Kizaru, he's all about unclear justice. Remember his grand entrance back in the Sabati Archipelago arc? Luffy punched a celestial dragon and boom, Kizaru arrived at the scene, overwhelming powerful pirates like Hawkins, Appu, and Urouge with his glimmer fruit powers. At this time, Luffy hadn't even mastered his haki, so they were on the brink of destruction. He has the power to turn his body into light. However, due to the Borsalino's high level of skill, he moves and attacks at the speed of light, shoots high-powered laser beams, and attacks by materializing light as swords and bullets. He is capable of a fairly wide range of attacks, from dazzling by emitting light from his body to surprise attacks that utilize the reflection of light. However, skilled observation haki users can react to his speedy moves. During the War of the Best, he was held at gunpoint by Beckham and even had Shanks aim a blade at him in Film Red. In the Egghead arc, there may have been a clash with the Straw Hat Gang, as he is on the escort of 5 elders, who is moving to assassinate Dr. Vegapunk. Coming in at number 2 is the former Fleet Admiral of the Marines, known as Red Dog or Sakazuki. He's made quite the statement with, "If you're not just, you're not worth living." This guy has an extremist mindset, believing it's acceptable to eliminate evil even if it means harming civilians. Championing absolute justice as a military man, we often see him clashing with fellow Marines over their different interpretations of justice. Up until 2 years ago, he was an admiral, annihilating numerous pirates on the battlefield. But now, as the fleet admiral, he's been tossed around with the Celestial Dragons. The new admirals, like Isho and Aramaki, and even CPO's Rob Lucci, disregarding his orders. Lately, we've seen less of Sakazuki on the front line, but don't underestimate him. With his proven prowess and the magma fruit power, his scorching magma punches can instantly melt huge blocks of ice. And his Meteor Volcano, raining down massive volcanic projectiles, can sink a large ship with a single shot. Its power is absolutely terrifying. With his ruthless nature and magma that incinerates everything, it's no surprise he leads the Marine headquarters, a place filled with mavericks. Given his stress, resilience, and intense strength, it's only fitting to have him in our number 2 spot. And the man who shines at number 1 is Kong, the commander-in-chief of the world government's entire military. He's not part of the Marines now, but 27 years ago he held the title of Fleet Admiral. Whether he preceded Sengoku in that role is still a mystery, but considering Sengoku sought his permission to step down from the Fleet Admiral position and Garp once got an offer for promotion from him, it's clear he's a big deal, overseeing these 2 legends. Even though he's my number 1 pick, I gotta say, we've yet to see Kong in action. His true capabilities remain unknown. Given his current role overseeing the entire world government military and the fact that heavyweights like Sakazuki and Garp report to him, he's probably the strongest out there. Another reason for his top rank is that during his time as Fleet Admiral, he faced monstrous pirates, including Roger when they were at their peak. That's all for today. This channel posts summaries, explanations, and ranking videos related to One Piece. If you like One Piece, we would be happy if you could support us by subscribing to our channel and commenting. Thank you for watching till the end. See you in the next video.